This is exactly how it would go from 0 to 10K per month dropshipping if I actually had to start all over again. There's gonna be no bullshit, practical advice that you can start implementing today, and I'm not here to waste your time. All right, so there's obviously a bunch of things which I would do differently if I had to start from 0 again. And first of all, I'd really focus on getting the basics down. And basics, not even in terms of only dropshipping, but actually business advice, which is super important to actually understand before even starting. Because if you don't have this, I'm telling you, you're not going to make it. First thing is that you have to say no to everything else. And by that, I don't mean to your personal life. I actually mean to other business opportunities. Because a lot of people jump from business to business and actually have 10 businesses at the same time, but they're broke. And so if you actually want to make it, you need to pick one thing and then commit to it until that one thing works. Just commit to one thing. And I know it hurts because you definitely do want to try out multiple things. And there's something called the shiny object syndrome, which basically says that basically the grass is always greener on the other side. However, I'm telling you, if you don't focus on one thing and switch strategies over and over again, nothing is going to work. And you're going to realize every strategy can work. You just have to execute it the right way. Second thing is, obviously, I tell you that every video, but you have to stop consuming too much content. What you're doing the whole day is just being unproductive. You feel extremely productive, but you're not, because you're scrolling on social media all day. You're watching short form dropshipping content. You're watching long form dropshipping videos. Whatever it is, you're consuming, but you're not executing. And my friend, that is not helping you at all. That is not even bringing you one step closer to your goals. So take this video as a sign to stop with all that and actually go ahead and execute. Try, really just go ahead, go out there and actually try. Next thing, you have to get your time management down, and I recommend using Google Calendar for that. Basically plan out your whole day in micro tasks. So really just plan out everything in like 15 to 30 minute blocks, and then you'll never actually find yourself in the situation of asking yourself, okay, what do I have to do now? What's next? What is on my to-do list? Stop using to-do lists overall. Just kind of have a planned out day, and you will realize you will get much more shit done throughout the day. Trust me. You obviously have to take your business seriously at all times. And what I mean by that is, you're obviously, when you're doing e-commerce, you're competing against extremely high skilled people that do this full time. So even if, let's say you're a teenager like I am, or let's say you're kind of like doing this besides your job or whatever it is, you're doing this as a side hustle, it's not going to work. So we really have to treat this like a real business. You have to double the inputs of the highest working person you know, and then actually see what happens if you stick to that for years, right? Because that's essentially how it works. It's not going to work if you just go ahead and kind of just treat this as a side hustle, watch content all day, and then actually productive work is like, what, 2 hours a week? I'm telling you, I promise you, it's not going to work. So you have to completely change up your mindset when it comes to that. Now, obviously, I recommend you not to tell anyone what you're doing. It's just gonna, make you feel worse. It's not gonna give you anything good. If you're connecting with people, if you're networking, or if you talk to people that already are in business, maybe a different one, then definitely tell them and try to like exchange values with them, but never ever go ahead and tell your parents. Never go ahead and tell anyone who has no idea what you're doing about what you're doing, because they're just not going to take you seriously. And what's going to happen is you're going to feel worse. Everything's going to be harder, and you don't want that. It's very easy to avoid. There's no positive in telling anyone what you're doing. And then you have to listen to people who are closer to your goals, not closer to you, right? And I know this hurts, but at all times, listen to people who are already where you want to be at, not close to you. Because people who are close, because obviously every one of those will want the best for you. However, even though the people close to you want the best for you, they don't know oftentimes what is best for you, right? Because you obviously don't want to get where they're at right now. You want to get to a very different point. And so you have to listen to people who are actually there where you want to get at, if that makes sense. Now, how to progress as quickly as possible when getting into dropshipping, right? First thing is you have to realize what the most important skills are, and the most important skills are not going to be how to make the most beautiful website of all time, what is the best finding the best product research tool or strategy. Not at all. The most important skills are going to be marketing, sales, video editing for video ads, and graphic design for image ads. If you get these 4 down, I'm telling you, you're going to make a fuck ton of money, not only dropshipping, but in every other business as well, because marketing is just basically a one-to-many sales. It's just basically one-to-many sales. If you don't know how to do sales, learn it, watch sales trainings, role play, have sales conversations, really learn it, get it down. And marketing is just one step ahead, basically one-to-many sales and actually converting people, not individually, but actually with an ad creative. So not like personal. So it's a little bit harder than the normal sales. However, if you get it down, you can basically sell any product and you don't have to worry about product research and that kind of stuff anymore, because you're just good at selling stuff. And then when it comes to these skills, obviously, this is a rule from Alex Ramosi. Whatever you want to get the best at right now, do it for 4 hours a day, right? 4 hours a day is kind of like a good rule to really, stay consistent at something. No days off. Do it for a couple months, and you realize you get so much better at that one thing that you want to get better at. It's insane, right? So just try it. You probably have nothing to lose right now, so might as well try. Obviously, you're not going to progress 100x every single day, so always try to get only 1% better every single day, because that's essentially going to be the right move to make. If you just are a little bit better every single time that you do something, every product test, every ad you make, whatever it is, it could even be in terms of productivity, or just whatever it is. Doesn't have to be business related, but if you just focus on getting 1% better on everything you do in life, this is going to compound extremely over your entire life. And so I promise you, if you focus on just this, right, and not missing out a day, really try to get the work done every single day consistently and a little bit better than last time, then I guarantee you in a couple of months or years, you're going to be balling. You're going to be balling. And in e-commerce, what is super important is momentum, right? So throughout your entire life, you've probably realized this already. Momentum is something which is extremely important. Try to keep it as high as possible. It's obviously easier to keep a ball rolling than to actually get a ball rolling. So definitely focus on, having a very high momentum when it comes to your inputs, but also to your outputs. And so really focus on keeping that, especially in e-commerce. You're going to realize if you lose it, you have a big problem. And so always do the work, do it, be 1% better today, and you'll be good. You don't have to figure out how to be 1,000 times better than yesterday every single day. It's not going to work. Every time you do something, be a little bit better than last time, be a little bit better than yesterday, and you'll realize this is a much faster approach and much more realistic approach to actually make everything work in life. But I get you, it's very difficult to actually see results if you've never really proven something to yourself that you can make something. For example, before I started ecom, I was already in the gym and I already saw results. So I knew that if I actually stick to something, and if I actually go ahead and learn and go ahead and fail a bunch of times and still stand up and keep going, and always 1% better over a long enough period of time, you're gonna realize that I realized that works, right? And so it was much easier for me to actually stick to ecom too, because this was just kind of the same thing, just a different life area. So if you're experiencing this for the first time in your life, I know it's very difficult. I've been there. It's super difficult, but just always have your goal, just always stick to your habits. You don't even have to have a vision board. You don't have to have crazy goals. Just stick to your habits, and I'm telling you, it's gonna work. And then obviously I'm going to give you some practical advice that you can start implementing right now. So first of all, whenever you're testing a product from now on, run an offer split test, because at the end of the day, your offer is going to make or break your website. And so if you split test it from the beginning, you're going to give yourself the highest chance of every product succeeding that you tested. So why not do it? Also, what's going to increase your chances of your products hitting even more is if you just run a Google Ads brand search campaign immediately, also when testing your product. And that's just kind of a retargeting thing, where people who click off of your website and Google you and then find you and actually buy, then that is basically what a brand search campaign is, right? And just the only keyword you put in there is your own brand name, and that's it. Nothing crazy, nothing more super difficult. I know it's a pain in the ass to set up your Google ad account with the conversion track and everything, but once you get that, you'll be good. And one mindset shift which I want you to have as well is that winning ads are not found, but they're being made. And so winning ads are really just kind of, you have a start which is ideally as good as possible, and then you make that ad better and better with iterations. So you see, for example, let's say the hook rate is extremely good, but then everything else drops. Well, then I need to make my ad engaging in the middle or at the end or whatever it is, right? And so through these iterations, through these optimizations, every single creative test, you're going to make your ad concepts profitable, and not try to hit a winning ad, try to find a winning ad, because this is a very, very luck-based game, and so you can just with the same effort go to a casino if you're doing that. And product research, and since product research is really the most highly asked topics that I get messages about every single day, I really wanted to kind of tell you guys a little bit about product research, because a lot of people get it wrong. A lot of people don't really understand what it's really about. So basically, when you're selling your product, you should be very picky. You should be extremely picky when selling products, because you can't rely on a mediocre product. You always have in front of your eyes that you're selling to real people. You're selling to real humans. And so these people are obvious. And so really sell something to people which they actually need, not want, but need. And you can make that through marketing. I agree. You can probably, if you're a very good marketer, you can probably make what's called bad dropshipping product a winner just with your marketing. However, especially as a beginner, you should be very picky, because the worse you are at marketing, right, you're gonna have to rely on your products working for you than against you. And so you're going to have to focus on finding perfect 10 out of 10 products. And how do you do that? Well, you get better at product research, just like at everything else, by doing it more, because it's a skill. You do it more, you get better at it. That's it. Before every test, break down why exactly you want to sell this product and why it has to work, and also brainstorm marketing angles that you can hit with your product, so that you can actually know 100% why something works, right? And if it doesn't work, then you will know exactly why it doesn't work, why it didn't work, right? Because this is the biggest issue that I see with people, is that they test products and then they fail, and then they just move on and learn absolutely nothing. And the problem is with doing that is, obviously you do the work, you put in the reps, but if you're not learning, you're actually not progressing, right? You're not getting better, so nothing's happening. So you have to combine this work ethic, putting in the volume, with actually being 1% better every day. That's why both of these are so important. And then after every failed test, break down exactly why the product failed, and then never make those mistakes again, right? So every time something fails, it doesn't work, really make a long Google Doc why it didn't work, right? Figure it out. Don't ChatGPT this. Make it as long as possible. This is for you to learn, right? Don't just have 2 sentences. When you make these documents, make them 5 pages long, right? You really have to do this in order to learn, in order to get better. Because I'm telling you, all your competitors are very, very lazy, right? And so it's very easy to actually beat them, but you actually have to do it. And with that being said, guys, I hope you've learned something from this video. I wish you an amazing day.